Another store closing in our neighborhood. Milwaukee's Silver Spring Drive Walmart store is shutting down. Milwaukee also went on the defund the police spree. It was a genius concept at the time. Well, since then, it's been proven to be not quite so great for the residents. Residents, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, losing yet another store. And unfortunately, this time it's in an area of food desert, meaning you do not have food for its residents in quite a number of swathed out areas. Just don't have it. You don't have any place to go. Residents are having to go further and further away from their homes because stores are closing down, because what's happening is shoplifting has exploded and stores can't stay profitable when the 5-finger discount is taking up most of their profits walking out the front door. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to say the quiet part out loud, but it's shoplifting. Shoplifting is what's impacting these stores. You've got such an addiction issue in these communities where this is going on. You got addiction, and then you got criminal activity. You've got shoplifting. You got organized retail theft, all creating this ecosystem where a store like Walmart simply can't stay profitable. And so at whatever meetings they have on looking at the big long list, they're looking through the list going, all right, how about that one in Milwaukee? It's bleeding out money. What's that look like? How many downward quarters has it had in revenue? How long is this store going to take to regain profitability? Well, we don't really know. Whack it. Close it. And that sucks for the residents who, I've talked about this so many times, the residents that this shouldn't be happening to. But unfortunately, they're the ones that have elected the officials. They're the ones that maybe jumped on that defund the police bandwagon because at the moment it seemed like such a great idea. And now the consequences of those decisions, the consequences of those actions are that yet another store, and a Walmart at that, is leaving their community. Corporate has said, no mas, they're out of there. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got going on in Silver Spring Drive, Walmart in Milwaukee. Here we go.
So this is a lot more convenient.
Bart Luttrell says he walks to Walmart on Silver Spring Drive for his groceries.
I can walk here. I'll have to get a ride to the next one.
Luttrell's Walmart set to close in a month.
What was your initial reaction when you saw closing?
Shocked. Shocked.
According to 2019 City of Milwaukee data, the city has 13 food deserts, areas where at least 100 households without vehicle access are more than a half mile away from the nearest supermarket.
I was like, okay, another store closing in our neighborhood.
The closing Walmart, located in the middle of a food desert.
It's upset me a whole lot because me going way out and I can just come straight here because it's close by my house. So I'm close by this Walmart.
This Pick and Save about 3.5 miles away is the closest grocery store with a similar selection to Walmart. Shoppers that come here may pay more than what they would at Walmart. 12 News compared the prices at Walmart.
They have the deals.
To the prices at Pick and Save. Chicken breasts by the pound at Walmart, $4.64. At Pick and Save, $7.99. For a loaf of bread at Walmart, you'll spend $2.68. At Pick and Save, the regular price is $4.49.
Discouraged because, to have something like this in the local area is really good. To move it, that's going to hurt a lot of people.
Reporting in Milwaukee, I'm Kendall Keys, WISN 12 News.
So this area of Milwaukee, it's already been hit really hard. Because if you've got what did we say, 13 food deserts? Is that? Yeah, 13 food deserts. And that's a term a lot of folks don't understand or maybe haven't been exposed to. And it's just like the video said, it's defined as an area where at least 100 households without a vehicle access are more than a half mile away from the nearest supermarket, meaning making it difficult for them to go get their groceries, go get their medication from the pharmacy, any stuff that they need to live, right? So you got a situation where you don't have your grocery store, you don't have your drugstore, you don't have whatever it is nearby in your community. And this losing Walmart is going to be, it's a massive shock to the community. But what they've got to realize is that the years of shoplifting, toleration of shoplifting, went down that defund the police, went down that, you've had all this criminal activity going on. Corporate can't keep the party going. They're just like, okay, underperforming store. And that's code speak for, we're not turning a profit. Why are you not turning a profit? Because the parking lot's always full. You got a lot of people shopping there. It's always full, a lot of bodies there. So it's not a matter of foot traffic like it is in downtown Portland, right? You've got a situation there where nobody wants to go to downtown Portland, but folks want to go to this Walmart. Unfortunately, so much of its product is literally walking out that front door, being stolen. You got thieves. They can't make a profit. They're out. They're out. Now, I know in other communities, you've got mayors, you've got governors saying, we need some federal funding to keep this store open, because you want to keep stores open for, the people who are working hard, people who are working 2 jobs, the single moms that are busting their butt to try and provide, for their kids, where they just don't have the support of a big family structure to make it go. Now they've got one more thing to worry about, and that's where they're going to get their damn groceries. Where are they going to get their prescription medication? Older folks don't have a car, don't have somebody to help them. They're not quite at that spot where they're, incapacitated to be able to go out and get their own groceries. But you take a half-mile radius and you put it 1.5 miles down the road. Well, now they got to figure it out, because that's a long ass walk with a bunch of groceries, right? Long ass walk. Can't have that. So you've got these communities across the United States right now being rocked by Walmart closing. Walmart's probably the biggest one. The second one would be Target. Then you've got Walgreens. Then you've got a bunch of these kind of second tier or more regional drugstores that are closing because guess what? Shoplifting during the pandemic and afterwards, you got a drug addiction that's just wildly out of control. 107,000 Americans died of drug overdose last year. It's probably going to be way more than that in 2022. I mean, it's just absolutely mind blowing what's going on. But the whole ecosystem of having drugs in your community means that they got to pay for them somehow, even though the drugs have come down incredibly in price from $40-$50 a pill down to $1 a pill wholesale, $2, retail is what the drug dealers are charging. The low level drug dealers. And we know this because that's what they're charging in Portland. Maybe it's higher and elsewhere, but people come to Portland because of their cheap, super strong drugs. Portland's got the same thing. They got 2 Walmarts in city limits that have been shut down. Walmart no longer has a Walmart. Portland no longer has a Walmart at all within city limits. Gone. Done. Walmart corporate said, not in Portland. And now not in Milwaukee is either. I was like, okay, another store closing down in our neighborhood, said Diana Vance. Walmart is located in a food desert, an area of the city without many supermarkets. So, we read most of this story. The USA's mapping of Milwaukee's food deserts shows the closing Walmart is located in the middle of a food desert. It's upsetting me a whole lot because me going way out and I can just come straight here because it's closer to my house. I'm closer to this Walmart. We heard her say that, but in her mind, she's like, this should be for me. This is no good for me. And I get that. But when you see cops in the parking lot day in and day out, and you see people loading up huge carts worth of stuff, pushing it out to their car with basically nobody stopping them. All this stuff goes towards, you can't keep the store open. It's not profitable. And when corporate is tasked with, hey, you need to make a return to our investors, to our shareholders. Stock price goes down when stores aren't profitable because it impacts it to drag on earnings, right? So you got that whole corporate thing. People don't want to talk about that. They don't want to make that, connection of all the shoplifting is actually hurting your community in real time. This Walmart closing down is the perfect example of that, right? So this article goes into comparing the prices. Yeah, the prices were, Walmart, It's $4.64 for chicken breast, which I buy. I buy chicken thighs. I don't like chicken breast. Chicken breast, super high in protein, super low in fat, which means it just doesn't have a lot of taste. Like getting through a pound of chicken breast, that is difficult at best, right? I mean, just try sitting down, eating some of that, eating half a pound of that. Even eating 8 ounces of that is difficult. So I'm a chicken thigh guy. Slightly higher food content or a fat content, but about the same in protein. So it's good. Throw a couple of chicken thighs on the grill. It's good. It's good stuff. You can see that fat just dripping off. Whereas the chicken breasts, just kind of sits in there and cooks, right? So chicken thigh or chicken breast, $4.64 compared to $7.99. And what they're doing is a comparison of Walmart. It's going to be shut down to the store that is available to them. That's a massive whack to that single mom who's trying to raise those kids. And her budget for chicken breast is now doubled, not quite doubled, but pretty darn close. Now, chicken breasts off the list. No go. Don't have Walmart. So there's a massive, impact on these communities, but there's been a massive impact to corporate, to the bottom line in Walmart. And when that happens, like in all these other podcasts that I've talked about, guess what? Axe comes down. Walmart Milwaukee, no longer a thing. It's just not a thing. So I think you're seeing Walmart as some of the, store of last resort finally closing down in a lot of communities. And man, since December, since the CEO of Walmart came right out in a news interview, and he was very, very direct about it. And now seeing what we're seeing, the impact of all these Walmarts closing, he was basically firing shots. He was saying, hey, and there were warning shots of what was to come. Now, as in December, he basically stated, one of two things is going to happen. And if you're a longtime listener to this podcast, you know this drill. Prices are going to go up. Stores are going to get shut down. Here's what happened. Behind door number 2, you get option number dos. Serato, closed. Just boom, done. A loaf of bread at Walmart costs $2.68. For the same brand of bread at Pick and Save, the regular price was $4.49. So there's that massive cost differential because Walmart brings in goods, on a national basis. They've got that cost. You've got their costs down. So literally when you're saying Walmart can't make a go of it in your neighborhood, it's because you got shoplifting. And that's the other story. The major story here is that media won't touch the shoplifting. They won't touch it. Google this store. See if you can find a local affiliate that talks about the impact of shoplifting on the Walmart closure. Not going to find it. Typically, you're just not going to find it. Every now and then you'll have like a line somewhere in like a secondary off-brand media that says, hey, you know what? Shoplifting has been rampant in that area for years. Closed up that store, closed up that store. That store had so many break-ins, we had to close that one down. That's kind of the look you've got going on. And so mainstream media does not want to touch this storyline, but it's just so easy to identify. These stores aren't profitable, meaning they're selling a lot of stuff. It's not like they don't have foot traffic. It's not like they don't have their parking lots just jam-packed full. They do. And you hear about this from interviews with media, mainstream media. Why are we shutting this store down? Look at all the people here. Well, a quarter of those people, half those people are stealing stuff 24/7 from the store, which eventually translates to lack of profit. Shut her down. Shut her down. Discouraged because, to have something like this in the local area is really good. To move it, that's going to hurt a lot of people, Luttrell said. Let's talk about something else. The other impact is to all the food suppliers. There's going to be less jobs for everybody from the truck driver, the delivery driver, the companies that warehouse this food wherever, getting the food to Walmart, all the people that set it up, all that good stuff. Everybody in that, food chain, food distribution, they're going to take a whack too because they no longer need services at Walmart, Milwaukee. It's a no-go. They're done. So, those jobs are going to get impacted too. Company maybe has 12 people that, work on loading the trucks up, whatever it is. Well, now they got to cut a couple, right? Because you've got less food being moved around, trucked around, whatever it is. Maybe you're a company that's got trucks that are refrigerated. Okay. You've got slightly less refrigerated. You got slightly less ice cream going out because Walmart's no longer there, which would be a big chunk. And in this area where you've already gone into the food desert category, you got 13 of them, meaning you don't have a ton of stores in this area already. Walmart's probably one of the last man standing. And that's what we heard from the people being interviewed here is like, this isn't good. This is really going to suck. And it is. And it especially sucks for the, folks who aren't making a ton of money and also the elderly who can't necessarily get out and, walk that mile. Maybe they can do the half mile. Maybe they can, make that happen. But, I always try and see it from the flip side of, okay, you got Walmart corporate here, but then you got the people that are supporting that Walmart store. Well, unfortunately, the people who have supported the concept of, hey, free stuff for my drug addiction, they're the ones that won. And unfortunately, the community loses out big time. That's the storyline we are not hearing about. Haven't heard about that. We're not hearing about that. What we're hearing about is, well, Walmart released more information about the closure on Wednesday, saying the company reached the very difficult decision. We don't take this lightly to close this location after a thorough review process. According to Walmart, the company has 5,000 stores across the U.S. and some do not meet their financial expectations. Financial expectations were not met. That's corporate speak for our profits are walking out the front door with the 5-finger discount. What do you want us to do? They don't say that last part. They don't even say the first part. They don't say any of that. They say, do not meet their financial expectations, which is true. They're not lying. They're just not disclosing the reality, which is these stores are located in communities that are rife with shoplifting. Portland, Oregon being another couple of excellent examples, excellent examples. Now, Portland, Oregon no longer has a Walmart within city limits. They've got them. They've got 45 of them throughout the community, but not in Portland proper, where you have got drug addiction just rampant and people shoplifting rampant. You got areas of Seattle. You got Target by Ship Canal Bridge. The only thing they're doing over there is doing drugs and stealing from Target. So then it makes you wonder in the back of your head, well, how long can that Target stay in business? How long does it take for Target to get to that point where they're no longer profitable? They're still selling enough stuff to offset all the losses they have from shoplifting. You might have seen, you might have even seen it right here on News for Reasonable People, but there was a dude, he was one of the prolific offenders in Seattle's prolific offender program. Our city attorney identified, I think, 118 or 128 individuals who are responsible for like 60% of the, criminal activity going on in Seattle. And one of the guys he stole a 70-inch TV from Target in downtown Seattle. That takes some effort. One dude, he was huffing and puffing so bad when he got that box out because he had a tug of war with store security. And once that guy made it out into the street, he was, out in the open. He'd made it. He leaned on that box for a while because he was out of breath. It takes a lot of effort to shoplift a 70-inch TV from Target. That guy's now in jail. So, Ann, Seattle City Attorney, well done. You're doing some good work there. Our Seattle City Attorney is doing some work. She's had 5,000 cases to catch up on, but she is putting some people in jail. And that's what you need to do. And you might say, well, incarceration, Sean, isn't the answer. Well, it gets the riffraff off the streets for a while, doesn't it? Gives the city a break, gives the city a slight pause to be able to do what they need to do, which is figure out which way is up with all this homelessness, drug addiction, overdoses, shoplifting, from stores. All right. So this is nothing new. This is absolutely nothing new. some of what has happened here is a lot of these cities in these areas consistently, and I look for the articles, consistently defunded their police. And that is not the be all and end all for why Walmart in Milwaukee closed down, but it's part of a larger set of why this happened. Communities and cities and states and, that went down to defund the police like Milwaukee did. Oftentimes they went light on crime. They went light on drugs. They went light on shoplifting. They went light on homelessness. Just allow it to happen. And guess what? And Milwaukee is no different. Here's the people of Milwaukee have spoken again. Defund the police. Today, the African American Roundtable released by the following statement in response to the city of Milwaukee's public budget. They wanted to defund the police. We're deeply disappointed with Mayor Tom Barrett's budget hearing. A couple of our staff members were denied the right to speak, and that's unacceptable. We don't know how many more residents were done the same way. We will continue to fight for a Milwaukee where all residents have the freedom to thrive, and we are just getting started. They went down this, an overwhelming majority of residents who spoke at the hearing are fed up with Milwaukee Police Department receiving such a large percentage of the city's budget. Well, now you don't have to worry about Milwaukee Police being called out to Walmart because you ain't got one. Not going to have one in this location. No go. So you don't have to worry about that. But what you do have to worry about is where are you going to get your groceries? Its share has remained relatively the same over the years, although crime has increased. All right. So if crime has increased, you want to defund the police budget? I don't think so. You need to go the other direction. You got a bunch of criminal activity. Who's out there fighting crime? It's not the social workers. It's the guys with the badges, right? It's the guys and girls with the badges. So we ask that all residents join us in demanding a $75 million divestment, taking money from the police budget, from Milwaukee Police Department, and investing it in public health, cooperative housing, and employment. So, if you've got attitudes like that permeating throughout your community, and then you watch all the folks stealing stuff out the front of your Walmart, this isn't too hard to figure out because that's exactly what's going on. It's not that Walmart can't make money. It's not that Walmart isn't selling a gross number of goods. They're probably selling an exceptional number of goods because this is in an area with 13 food deserts, right? They're selling a lot of stuff. It's just that stuff being shoplifted out the front door is even greater to the extent where that profit thing, you don't have any. And so end result, here's your sign, for lack of a better word. It's really sad. It's a really, really sad development, but it's also, this is what you get. If all the stuff's walking out, being shoplifted, and you got organized retail theft that's being allowed to run unabated. You really can't blame Walmart as a corporation. Remember at the beginning of Walmart's going in? We don't want Walmart in a community. It's going to put all the small businesses out of business, which it did. So now you've got all the small businesses that couldn't compete with the Walmart. And now everybody's bitching, well, Walmart's the only one left. Yeah. And so folks are shocked. Hey, Walmart's leaving my community. We don't get it. The parking lot's so busy. So many people buying goods here. We're selling so much stuff. Look at the underlying, what's going on. There's typically one factor, and that's profitability is literally walking out that front door with the 5-finger discount. Not that hard to figure out. But then I think when you do, then you're like, oh, geez, what are we going to do to stop this? What are we going to do to address this? Well, some communities, a lot of states aren't having this issue, are they? Interesting. I don't know. Maybe check into that. Thanks for being here. That's it for me on this one. Love to have you subscribe. Love to have you hit that notification bell. We're releasing 2 videos a day, Monday through Friday, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Check out reasonabletv.com. That's our subscription service. That's where stuff is that gets censored elsewhere. It's the good stuff. Thanks again for being here. We'll catch up again. Bye for now.